This is two ADD people chatting about what's going on in the world today.
This is Ben.
And this is Andrea. Actually, I have something really important to talk about.
Which is surprising considering how much coffee we've had.
I know. All right, so we're doing a protest.
We're organizing a protest in
a week from tomorrow.
Saturday.
Yeah, a week from this Saturday, so on the date, which would be the 27th. All right, so here's what's going on, and this is actually kind of funny. So we'll start with Rick Votal. Vital. I think we should say Vital.
Okay.
Rick Vital, the vice president of the Salt Lake County GOP. There was a little protest up in Salt Lake about a comment we'll discuss next. And what he decided is that all those gay guys felt like they were being gagged. That's a direct quote, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Well, it says, quote unquote, they feel like they're being gagged.
I like the next part best. My assumption is he said, I think it's because they want to keep the cum in their mouth, out of their mouth. It just makes sense. To come out of their mouths seems appropriate.
Unless he said something really bad.
Like what? It starts with a C.
Cock?
They want to keep the cocks out of it.
Holy shit,
it works! Ah! Gays want to keep the cocks out of their mouths.
Hi, Azure.
So Rick Vital said that they feel like they're being gagged and that he thinks it's because they want to keep the cocks out of their mouth. Now, Wattups. What did Wattups say?
Quote, unquote, he said, if the LGBT community are doing offensive activities in a public setting, that will push legislation against them.
Now, my question is, what are offensive activities? The Salt Lake Tribune asked him
what offensive activities are, and he said, I don't know, anything that would draw us into drafting legislation against the LGBT community.
So, if he doesn't like what the gays are doing, he is going to enact legislation discriminating against them. Let's get on to we have one more before we get to the really sweet stuff.
So we're going to do the
Sutherland Institute. Now, just a little background. The Sutherland Institute is a very conservative, very powerful lobby firm in Salt Lake. And they try to get Utah law changed. A lot. And they actually succeed really well. So, what did they say?
The approved ordinances in Salt Lake, quote, whatever, are vague and dangerously broad.
Basically, they're scared because gays are allowed to live somewhere without having to be scared of being kicked out.
So that scares everybody else. We're scary.
I'm scary. Look at I've got a beard.
You are kind of scary.
So 3 offensive things. First, said they wanted to keep the cocks out of their mouths. That was Vital. Vital said that.
Vital.
And then Wattups. Wattups is like, the LGBT community is offensive because I say it is. So I'm going to do stuff against them because I'm offensive. Butters. Butters is homophobe. I think that's safe to say. But I think he topped himself. I want to talk about this. This is fun.
Oh, hey, go for it. We can talk about Butters.
Homosexuals are probably the greatest threat to Americans. People like to bring up that there's other places that have been had gays. You ever heard of Sodom and Gomorrah?
Yeah.
They used to have gays.
Yeah.
And the angel of the Lord came down and killed everybody because they were gay. That's what the Bible says. I'm just saying. The Bible says they wanted to sleep with people. I didn't say I didn't say it. They said it. So that's what happened. I think he has wet dreams about boys, little ones.
I think you are a creepist, sir.
All right. So
we have an old Michael Jackson on our hands. Oh, that's not funny because Michael Jackson's dead.
Our list of grievances. Number 1 is what Michael Wattups said. Michael Wattups, president of our state senate, has said over the last few days, offensive activities, defined only by his reaction to them, will provoke the legislator into drafting legislation against the LGBTQ community. And that is offensive. Number 2, the Utah Senate has officially refused to even allow research to be done into whether or not Utah should include sexual orientation in their anti-discrimination policies. 23 states in the union right now. That's almost half.
21.
21.
21 states.
21 and DC,
And DC,
plus
okay.
several cities and universities, including our own SUU, have added sexual orientation to their anti-discrimination policies. And guess what? There haven't been any problems. It's been nice and better in those states.
That's because the gays are happy, and when you upset the gays, ain't nobody happy.
We've done research on this, and there are actually peer-reviewed articles that prove that adding sexual orientation has a positive effect on the states and communities in which it's infected. So our number 3 grievance. The overall atmosphere of the Utah Senate is clearly discriminatory. With the likes of the Senate President Wadups, Senator Butters, the freak, and Rick Fatal vocally opposing any rights being granted to our community. So, what's been going on in the Senate? So they've been saying all this stuff. Have they done anything about it?
Wadups recently considered sponsoring a bill to block cities and counties from passing anti-discriminatory ordinances.
There was another issue that, and this is the specific reason why he's trying to pass this legislation. The Democrats in the Senate wanted to do a little bit of research. They actually like facts. It's amazing.
They actually like to know what they're talking about.
But they wanted to do research because they knew if research was done, it would prove that adding anti-discrimination policies to the state would benefit the states, as a whole. And so they said earlier in the Senate there were vain bills. One saying that no one should be able to do anti-discrimination stuff, and the other saying that anti-discrimination stuff is necessary. And they both decided to drop it for a year, not even to discuss for a year. And the Democrats were like, okay, we're cool with that, but let's do research in that year. Doesn't that sound like
let's at least do something productive?
Yeah, let's look into it. Let's do some legitimate research and decide that, hey, we should. What should we do? What do the facts say? What does the evidence of those 21 other states, plus the District of Columbia, and all those universities, and all those counties, and all those cities, what does that research say? And the Republicans said, well, if you're going to do that, we're not going to allow anyone to do any anti-discrimination ordinances. So, no research. Another really pissy thing. At the beginning of the legislative session, a few months ago, several pieces of legislation were proposed to grant homosexual couples some of the basic rights that everyday citizens enjoy. That you should be allowed to have someone given the rights to visit you. Whether it's a homosexual couple, or say you're single and you want your best friend from Illinois to be able to come visit you while you're dying in the hospital. Well, they turned that down because it would give too many rights to gay people.
We're going to focus on that right now.
So,
I'll just get angry.
Utah has a problem with foster kids.
Yeah, yes we do.
A lot of foster kids, a lot of kids that need to be adopted but aren't being adopted. Solution. Allow committed two-people relationships who may not be legally bound to adopt. Whether it's man and female, male or female.
However, because that would give too many rights to gay people, that didn't happen.
Exactly. There was, I think, over 6 different bills like that. There were basic rights to be granted that didn't even really have anything to do with the homosexual agenda. They were just basic rights.
That happened to involve homosexuals.
But because they involved homosexuals,
didn't pass.
Yeah. Didn't even get out of committee.
Nope.
But here's what we actually want to achieve. We have some goals. What's the first thing we want?
First thing, we're going to say require because this is important. This is very important. A public apology from Senator Wadups, or however the hell you say his name, for his comment seeking to silence the homosexual community.
Because honestly, that's vulgar, and we're not going to stand for that.
No, it's ridiculous.
The number two thing we want to achieve, and this is actually really important to us, we are requesting, this isn't so much, we require public apology, but we request that the Senate allows the research process, that's all, just the research process, to continue so that anti-discrimination policies may be updated in a timely fashion to include sexual orientation. We love you all. We've been recording for half an hour.
Half an hour!
So I'm pretty sure this isn't all going to make it into the podcast.
No.
So, but we love you all, and we'll see you later. Oh.
Ben 8,
I
Andrea
found the
2.
quote.
We're keeping score.
We are.
Okay.
Keep score, everybody.